You leave the conversation and something feels wrong. Not wrong like something happened. Wrong like a weather change inside you. Like the air pressure shifted. And you can't explain why. 5 minutes ago, you were fine. And now you're carrying something heavy. Except it doesn't quite feel like yours. You won't know what I mean unless this has happened to you. And if it has, you'll know exactly what I mean. There's a type of person who doesn't just notice how other people feel. They take it in, fully. Like the emotion passes through the air between two people and lands inside them instead of dissipating. Someone walks into the room anxious, and suddenly you're anxious, even though nothing in your life has changed. A friend vents to you for 20 minutes, and when they leave, they feel lighter, and you feel like you've been carrying something for hours. You sit next to someone who is quietly sad, and you can feel it. Not because they told you, not because their face gave it away, just because you're you, and you pick up on things most people walk right past. This isn't imagination. This isn't you being dramatic. This is your nervous system doing something genuinely different from most people around you. Scientists call it emotional contagion. The idea that emotions aren't just felt, they're transmitted through micro-expressions, through vocal tone, through the subtle shift in someone's posture or breathing. Most people catch traces of this. A few catch all of it. Research on highly sensitive people, a term coined by psychologist Elaine Aron, suggests that roughly 15 to 20% of the population processes sensory and emotional information significantly more deeply than average. The nervous systems aren't broken. They're just calibrated differently, more receptive, more attuned. And then there's mirror neuron activity, the part of your brain that fires when you observe someone else's emotional state, almost as if you were experiencing it yourself. For most people, that system hums quietly in the background. For you, it's been turned all the way up since you were a child. You probably learned to read rooms before you learned to read books. You knew when something was wrong at home, even when no one said anything. You felt the mood of a place the second you walked in. And you assumed everyone could feel what you felt, until, slowly, quietly, you realized they couldn't. Here's what nobody talks about enough. It's exhausting, not the caring. The caring is part of you and you wouldn't trade it. But the not knowing, that's the part that wears you down. Whose feelings are these right now? Is this mine? Or did I just walk through someone else's emotional weather and bring it home without realizing? You can spend an entire evening with people you love and come home feeling hollowed out. Not because anything went wrong, just because you were fully present for every undercurrent in the room, every tension, every unspoken thing, every feeling that had nowhere else to go. And then there's the loneliness of it. Because this kind of sensitivity is hard to explain to someone who doesn't experience it. You try to describe it, and it sounds like you're making it up, or being dramatic, or making someone else's bad day about you. So you stop explaining. You just absorb and carry, and quietly wonder why you need so much time alone to feel like yourself again. Here's the part that might be harder to hear. A lot of people who absorb emotions this way were never really given permission not to. Maybe you grew up in a home where someone else's feelings were always the priority, where you learned early that your job was to sense the mood and adjust, to make things easier, to be the one who noticed and responded and held space, even as a child, because someone needed you to. And so your nervous system learned to stay on, to keep scanning, to treat other people's emotional states as information you needed to act on. You didn't choose this. You were shaped into it. And some part of you is still waiting for permission to just feel your own feelings without immediately scanning the room to make sure everyone else is okay first. But here's what I want you to take with you. Go back to that moment at the beginning. You leave the conversation and something feels wrong. That weight you're carrying that doesn't feel like yours. Most people don't feel that. Most people walk out of the same conversation and feel nothing shift inside them at all. What you have isn't a flaw in your wiring. It's a form of perception, a depth of attunement to other human beings that most people spend their entire lives trying to develop and still never quite reach. The goal isn't to feel less. The goal is to know, with more and more certainty, where you end and where someone else begins. That's not a small thing to learn. But you're exactly the kind of person who can. If this video felt like it was written about you, it kind of was. Subscribe, because every week I make a video about a different type of mind. And somewhere in this channel, there are a lot more videos that were written about you too.